thanks for tuning in to my review of the Retevis RT29 radio. So these are already pre-programmed from the company, Retevis. Apparently you don't need a license to use these. These are already using frequencies that are not interfering with local police, EMS, fire, stuff like that. You can program them, you just need the adapter. They can be encrypted also, which is nice. The only thing is there's no digital display to tell you what frequency you're on, but there is 16 channels, so you can program that each one to a specific frequency. So they do come with the stubby antennas. I think there is also a version that comes with the 15-inch whip antenna. They're very flexible. They work almost as good as the folding antenna. So this is the Aubrey antenna, basically a tape measure bent twice, but it did get me a little bit more range than the 15-inch whip antenna. The stubby antenna is good for like if you're in a warehouse, a building or something, you're not going very far. It probably has, I would say, less than a half-mile range, maybe up to a half-mile range on this. It's pretty bad. Took these off immediately, got all the 15-inch whip antennas. I have a spare folding antenna here, and then I have one on the back of my plate carrier. So it does come with 6 radios. I do see some now that offer a single charging base, which I actually want to pick up. I would like to give that to my folks who live a couple blocks away, and so they can have one of the radios over there charging in case something happens. So 5 years ago I decided to get into prepping. Not like apocalypse prepping, but you know, natural disasters, stuff like that. And I recall when I was about 17, 18 years old, maybe 19, I'm not doing the math right now, but 9/11, 2001, right? Everybody knows that date. I was living in Long Island. My aunt worked in Manhattan. My brother lives in Queens, and so I knew my aunt worked near the Trade Center buildings, and she was actually one of the ones you see in the reels of people walking over the bridge, on the Brooklyn Bridge when it happened. But my first thought when I turned on the TV and I saw all this going down is, let me call her and make sure she's okay, right? And I couldn't get through to anybody actually. Cell service was not working, and landlines were busy. Everything was locked up because everyone's trying to call. Everything was overloaded. They're not prepared for something like that. So yeah, like about 5 years ago, I picked these up on Facebook Marketplace for a really good price. I think I paid $100 for them with shipping. Some guy bought them for a cruise ship with his wife and kids and wanted to communicate, and then didn't need them anymore. So I picked them up. Everything was brand new in the package, and I've been using them ever since. You know, my folks live nearby. I can give them one of the spare radios. I got one for myself, the kids, and yeah, they work really great. On Amazon, I think they're up to like over $300, and there's a new version I just saw for just under $300 that said that they're waterproof. Maybe that's a set to pick up and test. Maybe that'll be one of my next videos. I wanted to go over my helmet setup a little bit. So what's mounted here is the Retevis EHK007 tactical headset. I posted the link in the video description if you want to pick up a set. So this set mimics the 3M's Peltor Contact 5s, I believe, the most. Real microphones on both earpieces, located right here on both sides. They have the gel cups, the flexible boom mic, take AA batteries on both sides. Even if you go online and find the fabric wraps for the Peltors, they fit perfectly. There were some pieces I didn't need, like the ones on top of the headband, because I removed that. I'm not using that anymore. But I've been using these for 3 years now, with over 1,000 rounds unsuppressed. They work really good as ear pro range comms. I wouldn't use these, let's say, in a real tactical situation, because they are a cheaper set. They may fail, but so far they're pretty rugged. They prove themselves for their price. They're priced at, I think right now, for like $89. I think I picked these up when they were on sale for like $69, and they are definitely worth the money. Yeah, my stuff, I use my gear, stuff gets thrown around, and in my opinion, they are very rugged, well worth the price tag. I highly recommend these to anyone getting into comms, want something to talk to range buddies. They work really well. One thing about these is that the microphones work really well. One night I went to a local park with night vision, and this is around the fall time. Leaves are falling, leaves are already on the ground, and you can hear how loud you are walking through, rustling through the leaves. But when the leaves fall behind you, it kind of creeps you out because you think someone's behind you, following you in the dark. I look around, obviously with night vision, there's no one around. So they are very sensitive. For instance, a buddy of mine, his range is kind of in his backyard. His neighbors are very far apart. There's all state land behind. The neighbor's house is probably maybe 200 yards. And when I go to the range, I know who's there, and what everyone sounds like. It's not a large group. It's usually like maybe 3 or 4 of us. I know everyone's voices for the most part. And if their neighbors go out on their deck, I can hear them, and it freaks me out because then I think someone's close by. And yeah, it picks up sounds really good.
Minutes later.
The Eagle has landed. Copy?
Copy.
Yeah. One last thing before I conclude this review is this push to talk button. This was something I found on Amazon. It was about $60. I kind of took a chance on it. I'm not sure if it's amplified or not. I don't think it is. I think it's just a push button. However, it's not the black plastic push to talk buttons you see all over Amazon for like $15. Sometimes they break or they fail in some sort of ways. This one is actually really nice. For one thing, the one reason why I decided to get this is because it's quiet. You don't hear that loud clicky sound. And another thing that I like is that on my plate carrier, how I run my cables and everything, is that this cable here is part of it and it's flexible where my headset connects to here. The other way, I would have to run the cable all the way around my plate carrier, and then you have the adapter sticking out. So you got this really long, rigid thing right here, and it kind of like interferes with like my jaw almost. This way it's routed through the strap of the plate carrier. It's tucked away. Another thing is the molded cord grips. They're flexible molded cord grips, which prevent the cables from ripping out or breaking, which those other cheaper push-to-talk buttons don't have. They go directly into the body. They're probably held in by a zip tie behind the casing. I've yet to take one apart and take a look at it, but from the outside and how much that cord wiggles, I can only assume that it's relatively easy to pull out. This one seems to be very rugged, and I'll have this one posted in the description as well.
So in conclusion, the Retevis products are pretty decent for the cost. They're not, I wouldn't say professional series products, but if you want to get into comms and just getting used to the functions of using the radios, using it on your plate carrier, which pouches to use, learning your setup, it's a good starting point, and the price point is not terrible, where you can probably sell it or give it to a friend and then move on to a more expensive set. So in conclusion, thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more reviews, like and subscribe. There'll be many more. Thank you for watching.